In this video, I want to show you one or two more quick things around this FlatList component. So to get started, I want to make sure that my FlatList component spans off the very bottom of the screen. Right now on both Android and iOS, all these different friends are kind of compacted up to the very top, and so on Android, as we saw a little bit ago, I don't even get any ability to scroll through these elements, because there's just not enough content here. So in order to make sure that the list spans all the way past the bottom of the screen, we can add in a property, or some styling, to this text element right here. So we're going to make sure that the text element has some extra spacing above and below it to make sure that the list is tall enough that it goes off the very bottom edge. So to do so, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the file and find my styles object. I'm then going to expand that object and add in a text style property once again. Then inside of here, I'm going to add in a margin vertical property. This is going to apply some spacing above and below every text element that we display. So for margin vertical, I'm going to add in like maybe 50 or so. We can then apply that styling rule to our text element right here. Remember, by just creating a style object as we did right here, nothing happens right out of the box. We have to very manually wire up the style that we just created to some element returned from our component. So I'm going to find my text element. I'm going to add in the style prop. I'll put in my curly braces, and then we'll do styles.textStyle. As a second reminder, I just want to mention again very quickly, the name of the style object that we create right here, so in this case text style, it doesn't have to actually match up or correspond to the name of the element whatsoever. We could put in gibberish right here if we wanted to, like ASDF. It just has to be the same when we actually try to use it up here as well. But in general, I like to use something like text style or just simply text if we're trying to apply some styling to a text element, because it makes it really easy for us to glance at the style sheet right here and understand where each different style is being used. Okay, so let's save that and see how we're doing. Okay, so now my list has a ton of additional vertical height to it because we added in some spacing above and below every text element. So now we can very easily scroll through this list of items, and it definitely goes down beneath the bottom of the screen. And then on Android, we've got something very similar as well. So over here, I can scroll around too. Okay, so there's two additional props that I want to show you related to the flat list. We're going to eventually use these different props in a future application that we work on. So for right now, I just want to show them to you and let you know that they exist. So the first prop I want to show you is the horizontal prop. If we just add in the word horizontal to a JSX tag like so, that is equivalent to writing out horizontal equals true inside of curly brackets like so. By adding in this horizontal prop, or better yet, its shorthand by just writing out the word horizontal, we're essentially telling our list that we want it to scroll horizontally across the screen from left to right as opposed to up and down. So if I now save this, we're going to see our list laid out from left to right. Now we can scroll horizontally through it. Same thing on Android as well. Now the second prop I want you to be aware of, you'll notice that on both iOS and Android, and this is kind of hard to see, but if you look down at the very bottom of the screen as I scroll through that list, you'll notice that there's a little scroll bar down there. So right there above my kind of software buttons, when I scroll, yeah, there's the scroll bar. Same thing on iOS as well. All the way down at the very bottom, I got that little list of elements. So in many cases, we might want to hide that scroll bar and make sure that it's not visible to the user. So to disable that scroll bar, we can add in horizontal, or excuse me, shows horizontal, there we go, scroll indicator, a very long term right there. Make sure you've got the correct spelling and capitalization all the way through, and we'll set that equal to false, like so. So that's going to keep that scroll bar from appearing when we scroll through our list of items. So if I now save this and I scroll through, no longer do I see that scroll bar appear at the very bottom. Same thing on Android as well. Now, in many cases, like right now, it might seem like, well, who cares about that horizontal scroll? But you're going to notice that in a lot of different mobile applications that you might use on an everyday basis, whenever you scroll through a horizontal list of items, having a scroll bar on there is actually really distracting. And so there are many cases where we might want to show a horizontal list and hide that scroll bar. And essentially, that's how we do it. As I mentioned, we're going to work on an application in the future where we're going to have to make a horizontal list, and we're definitely going to want to disable a scroll indicator on that application we built. Okay, so that's pretty much it for right now. For FlatList, we now know how to show a list of elements to our user. So let's take a pause right here. In the next video, we're going to start to move on to our next little mini application.